All right, viewers, those are the headlines and our top focus. Russia launched a late-night attack on Ukraine's southeastern city of Zaporizhzhia, killing one person and injuring 9 others. Now, the head of the Zaporizhzhia Regional Military Administration, Ivan Fedorov, has posted a video on his Telegram channel showcasing burnt vehicles and damaged buildings. Fedorov also claimed that the strikes took place late last night. Meanwhile, NATO member Poland has stated that it scrambled aircrafts early this morning to ensure its air safety after Russia launched airstrikes on Ukraine. With Ukrainian officials also reporting missiles and drones raining down on the Lviv region near the Polish border. That is not all that has taken place. We also know that 30 were injured after a Kiev-bound passenger train was struck in a savage attack yesterday itself. The bombardment against Ukraine continues. With us on the broadcast is Mr. Glenn Grant, former advisor to the Ukrainian Defense Minister, joining us from Kiev. At the outset, I would like to know, are your family members safe at the moment? Because the barrage is continuing. Civilians are also still losing their lives.
Yeah, yes, thank you. I'm fine. I'm actually outside the country for the moment, although due to go back in. And it is particularly worrying, especially the train attack, because trains have been running at night, have been almost the part of the main artery of movement inside Ukraine, and in fact that train going to Sumy I've used myself. So and that particular attack was nasty because they didn't just attack the train, they attacked twice. So actually what they were trying to do was first of all destroy the station and the train, and then secondly then attack the emergency services when they went to actually to clear things up afterwards. And this is a typical Russian way of doing to get extra casualties. But yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Indeed, and sir, what's also interesting is that the targeting of natural gas facilities are also taking place in Ukraine. How will this impact the Ukrainian economy in the long run?
It will. I mean, it's inevitable. I mean, it's more, in many ways, the attacks on the energy systems are much more towards causing great grief and distress to people when they can't get light and they don't have heating. I was in Sumy a year before last after an attack on the energy system there, and the place was just completely black. I mean, no light anywhere. So there's nothing in windows, no street lights, no traffic lights, no anything. Just absolutely total blackness in the city. And this is what Russia is aiming for. And that blackness, of course, means no heating for the majority of people. So I expect a lot more of this to happen in the coming weeks.
Indeed, and interestingly, there was a statement made by Tusk earlier itself. He stated that if Ukraine loses, we will all fail. Meanwhile, Poland has scrambled aircrafts even as this recent strike has taken place. But are these statements enough? What else should NATO be doing at the moment, rather than just giving statements?
That's a good question. I mean, I think the big thing is that NATO as a whole has actually got to sit down and work out how it's actually going to fight Russia, because when you're just on defense, then the initiative is with Russia, and you can see this with the Russian drones going everywhere. Is that NATO is just not prepared for it as an organization, because the individual countries are not prepared for it either. I mean, Germany's waking up. Denmark obviously has woken up. Poland is waking up and was putting aircraft in the sky last night. But you can't afford to keep putting aircraft in the sky just for drones. It's too expensive. It just eats up the hours of the aircraft, and you end up with no aircraft to fly because they're burnt out. So there's got to be some rethinking by NATO about how it deals with this whole Russia thing, because what they're doing at the moment, they can claim loudly, yes, we're doing a great job, but so is Russia, and it's Russia that's causing the problems to the countries with impunity at the moment.
Indeed, sir. Our question is still on with us as we're tracking further information, this time from the Czech Republic. Now, billionaire Andrej Babis is set to hold talks with the Czech president and elected party chiefs after his populist movement has toppled a national vote. Now, Babis is expected to meet President Petr Pavel, who will now swear him in as the next prime minister under the constitution. He has stated that he will provide a solution in line with Czech and European laws of forming a government, and his inner party meanwhile has failed to get an outright majority, securing 35% of the vote share. Therefore, he is expected to form a minority government in coalition with the country's far right. Meanwhile, outgoing Czech Prime Minister Petr Fiala has stated that he would continue to keep the Czech Republic a part of the West and that he will not give up the fight against populism and extremism. Still with us on the broadcast is Mr. Glenn Grant. So, interesting development coming in from the Czech Republic. What do you make of the victory of Andrej Babis and now the coalition that he's likely to form with right-wing parties, the protectionist stance that we're seeing that a lot of European leaders are now adopting as well?
This is worrying. It's a really worrying development, and it should worry the whole of Europe. I mean, in the first place, this man has got a very dark past, and Slovakian courts have actually said that he was previously a member of the Czech Communist Secret Service. He's been finance minister and he's been prime minister before, and basically during that time he was mired in scandal for fraud. Working with the media to try and deal with the opposition in the way that Trump does, and several other things. And in fact, there's still at least one case about misuse of European Union money that's still open. But the wider thing is that across Europe, it's becoming quite clear that we can't trust elections anymore. That the people that we see, a lot of people that we see are in fact either working for Russia or working alongside the Russian idea of taking over governments and abusing the public, not working for the public, but actually using everything to make themselves richer. This man is rich already. He's worth $3.5 billion. He doesn't need the money. So the only thing that he's after is power. It's certainly not looking after society. So I think we should all be worried about this because it foretells what will happen in other countries. Hungary we've had already.
Indeed, and and what are the implications at large for Ukraine and support that Ukraine requires? Because we've seen, certain countries, including Hungary as well, try to block aid earlier. There have been discussions of a fresh package being granted by the EU to Ukraine, but it's been stalled for a long time now, and Hungary was one of the key countries that had stopped and stalled the vote regarding this. And now with the Czech Republic also gaining someone who's more protectionist in stance, more pro-Russia in stance, how is that going to impact the support that Ukraine receives from the EU?
Well, time will tell, but this man when he's asked about Ukraine, he's not positive. He uses weaselly worded answers like, well, I'm a diplomat, I'm not interested in this, this is a military activity, which is extremely worrying. The Czech public are extremely positive about supporting Ukraine because they know that they're right on the borderline and that they will be one of the next people to suffer if Ukraine falls. But I think that this can be considered to be a success for Putin again. But we just have to wait and see. But if it does come up again, it's going to make life a lot harder for the European Union to put money into Ukraine. It's hard enough as it is at the moment. I mean, they're failing time and time again. This could actually be a real death knell.
All right, so with that, I would like to thank you for taking out time, sharing your perspective with us on